Hey guys, Shannon here with Trillium Living. Thanks for joining me. On this video, I wanted to show you how to make an indoor cactus garden. Cacti are amazing plants. They're native to the desert, so they are adapted to withstand droughts, high temperatures, and all kinds of predators. So they can make amazing house plants. So I wanted to show you how to put together a cute little container that you can put in your home. And I'm going to put this one on our dining room table to kind of remind me of an upcoming trip that we're planning to Arizona this winter. So I wanted to get started. The first step really is to select a container. And I recommend a more shallow container for cacti. They don't have a deep root system, so you don't really need a deep pot. They're adapted to have short root systems because they want to grab as much water along the soil surface as they can. So I thought this was a beautiful pot. I really recommend one that has drainage holes, and that way that you can make sure all the water runs out and you don't overwater a cactus. But honestly, it's getting really hard to find shallow containers with drain holes. So more manufacturers are making them without drain holes so that you don't have to worry about them inside, the water getting on your furniture. But I will put some links in the blog article to some that I did find online that you can use. So another good pro tip is to use a little bit of horticultural charcoal at the bottom of a container. And you can do this with any kind of dish garden, whether it's a succulent, a cacti garden, or even tropicals. And what this does is it will help neutralize any bacteria, if you have overwatering, any kind of fungus, or any problems at the bottom of the pot. So I'm just going to put a little bit at the bottom of this container. And I'm not too worried about overwatering because I do a good job, but I'm going to put just a teeny bit there. And then what you can do is just start adding some soil. Now I'm going to use a specific soil designed primarily just for succulents and cacti, and that's really the key to having a successful cactus garden. If you use a regular potting mix, you'll probably have a lot of trouble with the cacti's health. A regular potting mix will hold too much water, and literally the cactus can rot inside of the dish garden. So I'm going to start by just probably maybe filling it about halfway with the mix, and I'm just going to put it right on top of that horticultural charcoal. So I will put links in the blog post too to both the types of horticultural charcoal and this potting mix, so you can see some different manufacturers that make that. So really one of the keys to doing a cactus dish garden is, how do I get these cactus out of the pots with all of these little spines? And there's a couple ways to do that, and one of the easiest ways obviously is to wear gloves. So I have these gloves, and they have a plastic on the inside, so I'm going to wear those, and that will definitely help with the spines. These are a pair of Jimmy's work gloves, and those will work nicely as well. There are specific gloves designed just for folks who specialize in cactus gardening. I've even seen people buy a pair of inexpensive, ordinary gardening gloves and wrap duct tape around them so that they kind of have a protective barrier. But whatever works for you and your comfort level. You can see some of these cacti have virtually no spines, and then some have quite a few. So I guess it depends on the different kinds that you're working with. But one of the tricks to getting them out too is just using an ordinary pair of kitchen tongs. That can really help you slide them out of the pot. So the first step I'm going to do is really to help get them out of the pot is just to loosen the container at the bottom. Just give it a good hearty squeeze, and what that does, it'll help release the roots from the surface of the pot. And then what I do is I just hold it right over the pot, the container, and just pull it out. And it's fine if some soil comes out. Don't worry about it. And then I'm just gonna kind of make a little spot. I'm gonna put the taller ones to the back, and it's okay to kind of let some of that soil crumble off there. And then I'm gonna take this guy and give him a good squeeze. And this one's actually a type of euphorbia. And I'm gonna loosen these roots just a tiny bit. You cannot hurt these at all. So I know a lot of times people are afraid that they're gonna hurt the roots, or like when that happens, the soil kind of breaks loose. You're not gonna hurt them at all, don't worry about it. And I'm gonna put these really tightly together because cacti grow so slowly that you don't have to worry about them getting too tight in the pot. So again, I'm just gonna give that a really tight squeeze. Put this one to the back too. I'm going to loosen this guy's roots a little bit. And again, it's fine if that soil kind of comes down there. So we're just going to prop these up a little bit till we get everything just the way we want it. And then I'll move some of the soil. So what I'm going to do, this is the ones that are a little bit tougher to get out. So what you can do, if you don't want to hold it like this, which I don't think this one's too bad, and with the plastic on here, I'm actually not going to use these, but you could hold it like that. I might use it for that guy. But what I'm going to do is just slide him out, same as I did the other ones. And I actually probably am getting too much soil in here. So what I'll do is I'll show you here. I'm going to stick him in there just like that. And actually get tight on soil here. Let's see if I can get him in there. Let's see, he is the one. He's a little prickly, but he's not too bad. I'm going to loosen his roots just a tiny bit there. And put him right down. And don't be afraid to kind of stick him down in there. Make some room for him. So now, all I need to do is kind of straighten everybody up a little bit here. And that's really, I got the hard part over. And so what I'm going to do is just take the soil and move it around. Now there's some other little tools that you can use. It's kind of neat. Online, there are some really cute tools that you can buy just for succulent and cactus gardens. They have adorable mini tools like little shovels, all kinds of little rakes and little paint brushes and things to clean up the cactus if they get dirt on them, all kinds of neat things. But really all you need, I have a plastic fork, I have an old spoon, a plastic knife, a little paintbrush that you can get at a craft store. They work just fine, but I'll put some links in the blog post that if you would like a cute set, you can find out where to get them. So I'm just adjusting this a little bit so you can see how it looks, and I think that looks really cute. Let me just tighten him up a little bit there. Let me just turn it around so you can see it. So there's one final touch that I want to do. If you've ever been out in the desert, especially in the American Southwest, you know that the soil does not look like it does here in the Midwest. It usually isn't brown like this and kind of have a organic look to it. It's generally more brown and earthy. It looks more sandy and rocky. So I want to put a top dressing on this, and I want it to look a little more like it would if we were out in the desert. So what I'm going to do is add a top dressing, and I tend to like a little bit more of the natural look, but there's all kinds of different top dressings you can buy. You can go to a craft store and get sand in different colors. I think I bought this at a big box home improvement store. You can get large river rocks. If you had a larger container, you could buy all kinds of accessories like driftwood or large accent rocks pieces, all kinds of neat things to kind of create a scene, if you will. in your dish garden. But I think I'm going to use these rocks just to create like a little garden, or actually a top dressing. But this will do a couple of different things. First of all, it makes it aesthetically a little more realistic, but it will also help hold those cactus in place, each one, until they kind of get rooted in. And when I do water it, it will keep the soil from splashing up on the cactus. And that's not always necessarily a bad thing, but they do like to stay a little bit dry on the drier side. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this up, and once I'm done, I will show you the finished product. I will finish putting these rocks in, and then we will show you what it looks like when it's all done. So I got all the cacti in place and the top dressing of rocks in place as well, and it's all complete. I think it looks great. We're going to keep this out on our patio table for the rest of the summer, and then once the temperatures start to get below about 55 degrees at night, I'll bring it inside and keep it on our dining room table, and it'll look great there all winter long. And I'm going to put some links in the description to some articles that we have about how to take care of succulents and cacti, how to water them, and keep them looking great all year round. Thank you so much for watching. We so appreciate it.